the fundamental question, basic question we keep asking every BJP politician in the South is, if the South is so culturally connected, why are we not able to make it? Things are slightly better, yes, but you've not arrived yet. Even in Karnataka.
Again, you have to historically contextualize it. See, politics in India was largely driven by the grand old party right up to emergency, even in the states. No? Right up to emergency, whatever said and done, they were the most powerful people, and which is why she became what she became, the monster that she became and declared emergency. In 77, there is that, there's that social uprising. There is the, Sampurna Kranti and all of that of JP. And what had happened is the alternate thought process, which was Bharatiya Jana Sangh for us. Our predecessor was Bharatiya Jana Sangh. Bharatiya Jana Sangh was dissolved into Janata Party, just as many other parties were. So, when did BJP take birth? Only in 1980.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how old are we in the country?
It's just 45. Yeah.
40, not even 46. We'll be 46 next month. Right. In April. Okay. So, that is one part. Then a relatively young party as compared to the 100-plus-year-old party. Then the second thing is, wherever Congress was opposed, I told you, NTR formed as Telugu Desam. That was the alternate to Congress. BJP was not there at that time, right? To take that place of the alternative.
Yeah.
Then in Karnataka, it was the Janata Party itself, part of the Janata Party, because Ramakrishna Hegde was all along in Congress only. Then he fell out with that when Indira Gandhi broke Congress, he came onto the other side, right? So, and thereafter joined this Sampurna Kranti and the socialist revolution. So he sort of in many ways represented that anti-Indira Gandhi, anti-Congress. He took that space in Karnataka. In Tamil Nadu, I told you in 67 itself DMK did it. And later ADMK did it. So Congress never found space. And then, so this is how the regional parties predated the BJP in politics.
Correct.
Right? And have largely thrived. In Karnataka, the reason I think BJP made it is because Janata Party fizzled out. Right? The factionalism and this and that, and then the JDS happened in 99 and, so they sort of shrunk. And they were not a regional party to begin with. They were a part of that larger Janata Parivar. So, therefore, BJP was able to make that, headway in Karnataka.
Yeah.
Unlike the regional parties in, whether it is TDP or DMK and ADMK. Kerala is a very interesting phenomenon, something that people really need to think about. Because the first government in Kerala, after the linguistic states were made, is communist.
Correct, yeah.
Then Congress.
Yeah.
They have been alternating all along.
Yeah.
So this is the challenge that I think BJP faced in growing. This is the, immediate history. If you look at the larger history, it's 1,000 years of subjugation, of invasion and all of that. But this Ghazni, Gori, Mughal never breached South India. So we have not been as subjugated as have the North Indians been.
Yeah.
We have not been looted, robbed, destroyed as they have been. Right? Their memory is 1,000 years old. We've had Muslim rule. Like I said, Adil Shahi happened, I think, in the 16th century.
Yeah.
These Nizams were there in Hyderabad. Then there was the Madurai Sultans. These were guys who were breakaway forces of that smaller Mughal army.
Yeah.
They were not Aurangzeb or anybody.
Even the Mughals considered them as outcasts, like a lot of these.
So, and look at this other phenomenon. I was thinking, this morning. And these guys have been dealt with one Shivaji Maharaj.
Correct.
His Hindavi Swaraj, what it did was, it destroyed this Adil Shahi.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Nizams were subjugated also by the Maratha Empire. And these Madurai Sultans were finished by Vijayanagara. This Kumara Kampana is the one who finishes this Madurai Sultan. So in so many ways, they have not prevailed in South India or, harmed people as they have in North India. Except your Tipu Sultan and, that's a different story. So your 1,000-year-old memory does not carry those wounds. One. Two, you don't have a memory of partition, no, as South India.
Correct.
Where is the memory of partition? We don't know what happened.
Yeah.
We were not asked to leave our homes. We were not homeless overnight, farmless, landless, lost all our prosperity, left the country, came to a new city like Delhi or wherever. Neither have we seen the more recent Kashmiri exodus.
Yeah.
It didn't happen to us.
Yeah. No, in fact, when I was in Delhi, I went to Karol Bagh to watch Border, Sunny Deol. I just wanted to get that experience. It was crazy. It was a packed house.
I've lived in Delhi
Full of
in the early 90s when the Ram Janmabhoomi movement happened.
Okay.
I've lived there. So I know those, they used to have these, Hum Mandir Wahi Banayenge was the slogan. Then there was this Bhagwati Jagran that they used to do. Through the night. People would throng because the memory of partition was so raw. The manner in which they had been harmed. So why I'm saying this is we don't have both those memories. So we have remained largely Hindu. Right?
Correct.
So that Hindu assertion
We didn't have
is greater in North India as compared to South India.
That it's more of a right that they want.
That assertion came with the Ram Janmabhoomi
Here it's a
movement.
given. Yeah.
Here that assertion has not been necessary, but I think in the last 10 years, when there is that, I call it a kind of civilizational uprising, a civilizational reawakening. Because we have not lost Somnath. We have not lost Mathura. We have not had a Kashi, where a mosque is constructed on my most, the oldest Hindu city in the world, or the oldest city in the world itself. Or neither has there been a Ram Janmabhoomi where my temple has been destroyed. So those memories don't exist in South India as there are. It's not that there has been no plunder here. The manner in which Vijayanagara Empire was destroyed. Why do we have the ruins of Hampi? Right? But then the memory is not as raw as it was in North India. Which is why I think that Hindutva as a philosophy, nationalism as a philosophy, right? You had to be nationalist. What choice did you have against an aggressor? So this Hindu nationalism resonated better, I think, in North India than it has in South India. But now I think South India has also woken up to this reality, that there is indeed a kind of the intellectual, suppression that has happened over the last 75 years, right? The intellectual suppression of the Hindu thought.
A lot of that is being rejuvenated.
Now, I think the South Indians are waking up to that and realizing that, if they allow this DMK and all these chaps to thrive, or the communists in Kerala, then what will be of us in future?